the scene where Ethan was about to dive into the that whole situation was impossible as per usual. I wonder how the writers come up with this impossible situation. But the scene where he was about to dive into the watering hole to get into the place where he had to change the profile, it looked like the devil's anus. If you told me the devil's anus looks like that, I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, you know, they're just giving it a name. Like, this place is called the devil's
anus.
Mission Impossible 5.
Do you think it was better?
Rogue Nation. Yeah.
It was, yeah?
I feel so.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like, if you see my notes, I have fires and claps everywhere. Look at it, man. I have fires and claps everywhere and laugh.
You know what, let's start off with that. What do you have in your notes, man? Because this movie was sick.
It was sick. First of all, we'll start with the director. Like I said earlier, Christopher McQuarrie.
Yeah, the longest running director.
Yeah, for the Mission Impossible franchise. I think after this, he did 6, and now he's doing the first part of 7.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I just loved it.
Yeah.
Just loved it. It was just good. I loved the opening scene. Like, I don't know, for some reason. I don't know what was. I just loved it.
The way they hijacked the what happened in the beginning again? The hijacking of the message.
Yeah.
No, actually, something happened before he went to London.
Yeah, before he went to London.
Oh, honestly, I forgot what happened.
Bro, why we just watched it?
But everything after that, to this point,
it was good.
Yeah, it was good. To where the syndicates hijacked the message. I was
yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah.
What the heck?
So, like, when he went to the record store, that's another new way of...
Such a clandestine way.
I'm just like, oh my God. Like, obviously, the girl in the record store is an agent or so. She was like, oh, is it you? Ethan? No, I've heard the stories and everything. It's just like, you know.
But that whole back and forth,
fanboy.
She could confirm if he was legit. It was so long. Normally, you like spy stuff, there's like a code and a phrase. This one, there was question, answer, which is lovely. I just love, is it rock or something? Is it blues or jazz?
Let me guess. Classical.
Jazz.
Put his hand on the record player, and then I'm like, oh my God, these guys are going crazy again. And then you have the syndicate hijacking and Ethan Hawke will find you, kill you, do this. Give him 2 options. I'm like, man, you don't give Ethan Hawke an ultimatum like that.
Honestly, man. I actually thought he might have broken out the first time I saw this, that he'd break out of that freaking glass and knock that guy out. But it was such a cool way for the syndicate to hijack that message. I was like, who are they?
Yeah, real bad, man.
It's every single way they've transmitted the message has been done in a way that nobody else will get to it. That's why there's always this message will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So that means they must have intercepted the message in transit, or it could have been a hoax.
Because the thing is, we don't even know how they even get the messages along. But just like, obviously, you know that they have to go to this particular place and get the mission and all that, you know. Yeah. So for them to even get to that point, it's just like, these people are crazy.
They're crazy.
Syndicate and everything. And they just killed the girl. He was so helpless. I was like, my guy. They could have killed him there, like gone.
They could have if they wanted to. That guy.
Yeah, he needed him.
Yeah,
he had the whole thing planned from the beginning. What's his name? Lane guy. I was like, this guy. He had the whole thing planned from the beginning. And then, you know, the other thing I liked so much was the escape with Rebecca Ferguson.
I have that right there on my notes, man.
I see, it was so cool.
Tom Cruise.
Oh my God.
Incredible, man.
Oh my God. I was watching it. I was like, this is so cool, man. She came in first and he has his eyes open. He's seen this beautiful lady and like, she's beautiful.
Tom is a sucker for
life.
For the mission.
There's a thing. There's a thing with spies. They always want to be with like the most beautiful woman, like, and anyways, most sophisticated and all that.
Yeah,
but that's
as
a
like
side.
James Bond as well.
Yeah, but that's by the way. Like, anyway, she came in, she took her shoes off. You know, this other guy came in and he was just talking to the guy.
Bone man or whatever.
Yeah, it was like,
nice shoes, by the way. That is yours.
No, not you, has. I was like, and everything.
He always has silly quips.
Yeah.
Like Spider-Man. The way he thought of it. At first, I knew he was going to do something like that, but just seeing him doing it, and I'm sure that shit was real. It's so in calisthenics they call it the flag. You see some dudes who like hang off a pole, their whole body levitating to one side, so they'll be.
I've seen it. Yeah,
ground. And I can't believe my eyes when I saw him doing it.
I think he actually did do it.
Yeah,
I'm not sure it's like stunts. I think he did it on his own.
Yeah, I'm very sure he did. Definitely.
Yeah.
It was such a cool way to escape. That dude is old, man. How does he do that? You can't tell me.
He keeps fit. That's just it. See, that's the only way, man. You can't slack when you're doing things like that. You have to always make sure you keep up with this thing. Consistency is key. Yeah. You know, and
tell me, before because you tell me if you were in a life or death situation, would you be able to pull something off like that?
I don't know.
I would do something like that.
It's the adrenaline at that moment will just kick in and you see yourself doing things that you didn't even know you could do.
Honestly.
But like Rebecca Ferguson was really amazing. I don't know if she was the one actually doing all of those stunts herself, but the fight scenes were cool. And she's in Silo, and I don't know, have you completed Silo now? You haven't yet. Silo is great, man. Yeah. Silo is really, really great. I'm done with that. And it's really, really great. So like she's in Silo and she's also amazing there as well. So I'm just like, man, I loved seeing her in this movie, man.
Yeah, I mean, I always love Rebecca Ferguson. Anywhere I see her, she's an excellent actress, no matter where she is. And in this movie, I don't know if you noticed, but she's not as... She's fuller in her face compared to like a Silo, right?
Yeah, it's the time difference.
The time difference between those times. Because she looks like a completely different person in this one compared
the time
to
difference, yeah.
And just like you said, the stunts, but I'm sure she's not the one riding those bikes though.
Man, that was sick.
Bikes. Yeah.
That was a sick scene, man. I'm not gonna lie.
It was so nasty of her to stand in the road.
She knew.
She knew.
Oh man. See, when you know something, you just know it.
Oh god.
It's crazy. Like when Alec was talking to Jeremy Renner Brandt, when I was talking to him and was like trying to like explain how Ethan is like his what do they call it? Persona non grata. Yeah. It was like this guy is gone. Like he was like Ethan Hunt is living his last days as a free man, and then 6 months later they have to searching for him.
Still they find the guy. They're looking for him in Cuba.
I'm like, he's not that. I'm like, yo. He's just messing with the CIA at this point. Like, exactly. Who are you, man?
Because the CIA is more rigid compared to the IMF, so I'm sure he knows their tactics.
Yeah, it's easy to, like, I'm very sure of that. Like, you can just find a way around this. Yeah, I was like 6 months later, bro. This guy is just, I'm just like, oh man, my guy.
He's insane, man. Tom Cruise is freaking insane.
Yeah.
Or Ethan Hunt, rather. And to something, I don't know. I think in this part of the movie, they really showed off his artistic skill. And I need to know if it's Tom actually doing those drawings.
That drawing was fast.
It was fast. It was the one he drew on his hand, right?
In the part 4, when he was trying to show...
Yeah.
I was like, and he was able to place it. Brandt was able to place it that was. I'm like, God damn.
And part 5, they showed it off again. He drawing Lane's face and then Rebecca Ferguson's face. I need to know if he learned that for the movie. If he learned how to draw.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
I wouldn't be too. I wouldn't be, but I think I'll actually be surprised. It's one thing to, do calisthenics like jump, like escaping the pole, or to do like the stunts like jumping off a cliff or climbing the budge. To apply that type of creativity, I know he's an actor.
It's learning. You can learn to draw.
You can learn to draw, yeah, but did he learn to draw for this movie? Because that will make him a polymath.
It might be possible he did. We wouldn't know.
Honestly,
can find out one of these days.
I need to find out. I'm shocked I didn't Google it before the podcast, but that would be excellent to find out. Because the drawing is, if I could draw that way, even if it's just portraits, man, I'll be happy.
Same, man. I think I'm sure he learned it. He learned it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And another thing is obviously we'll talk about the tech. The tech. See, when he sent Benji tickets to like
the opera.
Yeah. He did that, and then he got to Vienna. He gave him a program of the event. And that was a freaking
laptop.
I'm like, black and white, yes, but still doing the job. I'm like, oh my God, this is just amazing, man.
When I saw that, I was like, I can't believe that's a laptop. Like, he plugged in the flash drive. I'm like, oh, stop it.
I'm like, what is this?
Now, they need to show us, they need to give us like a Mission Impossible extended pass just with the tech team. It's just like in James Bond, you know, there's
Q.
There's Q, Quartermaster. We need to see someone like that for the Mission Impossible, don't you think?
Like, who is creating all of these things?
Yeah, we need to. I'm sure it's not just one person. It has to be a team.
Who is creating all of this? It's mad.
It's mad.
I'm like, I was just like, why is he giving me like a program of the events and then he put it up, he plugged something to like the servers or
it's
something.
like he knew what it was.
Yeah, so
just
obviously they know.
I've seen this before.
Yeah, like me giving me a book like that, I'm just gonna hold you like, what was this? Like he knew exactly what it was, and it was using to track.
But was that your most impressive tech from this movie?
No, I wouldn't say that. Was it in the part 4 they had the keys opening doors? Like,
it's in part 5.
Well,
That's
in
what
part
I'm about
5,
to say.
yeah. That key was mad.
The key, the tech to just put it in the door and then it unlocks the door immediately. That's the most impressive piece of tech.
I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
And you could see like it had like this transparency, so you could see what's going on inside.
How it's unlocking, how it's picking the locks, yeah.
I'm like, damn,
that's and the new mask maker. That freaking sick, man. Freaking sick. We should probably do something like that, ranking all the best texts in Mission Impossible. If you guys want to see that, let us know. It was freaking crazy, man. Yeah, I mean, Benji, I like the way Benji's just so, comic relief. There's just this one guy that's comic relief. Yeah. And then Benji goes on to say that, he's just holding his breath for 3 minutes on the water in the midst of all that
pressure. Saying it like he has so much faith in Ethan. He has so much faith in Ethan. He has so much faith in him.
That's not even faith anymore. That's like deifying him. Ethan's a god. He can do that shit in his sleep. It's crazy, man.
And now, back to the opera scene. Now just imagine everything that was going on, the craziness that was going on. Yeah. And now he had the gun. He had the other guy trying to shoot the Chancellor, and then he had Rebecca Ferguson trying to shoot the Chancellor. And then he was choosing who to shoot. Would he shoot Rebecca or
situation again?
His choice was the most logical and the most sensible thing in that. Oh my God. He shot his hand so he would move, and then they wouldn't have the chance to shoot.
Yeah.
And that was just perfect.
It was, man.
I was like, oh, that is the best choice to actually make.
I actually thought he might bring down one of the dragons, the props, and
distract them and everything.
Yeah, but it was more very Ethan Hunt to shoot. To shoot, who was he again? Was he a Duke or
the Chancellor? The Chancellor.
It was more Ethan Hunt to shoot the Chancellor than
shot him on the arm. I was like, oh, that's just wise, man.
But did you know he actually considered shooting Rebecca Ferguson?
Yeah, he thought about it, but he couldn't do it. She had already saved him once, Anyways, and he tried to escape and everything, and now they were inside the car with Benji, and Benji was like, she tried to kill me. And he thought was like, she tried to shoot. Then he was like, it doesn't make her a bad person.
It's so Ethan Hunt, man. It's like, I know she tried to kill you, man, but take heart. Let it go. There was this dude, the dude that was there to shoot the Chancellor. That dude does not look like a spy. He looks like a Vogue model or something. Dude, did you see that dude's cheekbones? It was like so, and then you see him, it's like,
brooding and shit.
Nah, bruh. Nah. But David Lane is really a man that covers his tracks. Like the redundancies set up to kill the Chancellor. Come on, who thinks that far ahead? That's like 5 chess moves ahead. So we're going to have a spy that will take out Ferguson if she doesn't shoot the Chancellor. We're going to have another
so much.
We're going to have another dude aiming at the Chancellor to kill him. We're going to have Ferguson aiming at the Chancellor, and if all 3 of those fail, we're going to have an explosion. Bro, take out the car.
That was just crazy. It was. So the man is like, you know what? It's gonna get done. I know who I am.
I know who I am.
I know who I am.
But his business model, which is what I'm just going to call it, is impressive. So recruiting spies that are being considered.
He wasn't even the one that came up with it.
It wasn't the one that came up with it.
No, it was the secretary, UK secretary.
MI6, the guy that wrote the MI6, yeah.
He was the one that came up with it. Yeah, but the PM shut it down straight up. Yeah. So there was no point in all of that. I'm like, oh God.
I've seen that PM in another movie.
Yeah, I've seen him too.
I think it was a Kingsman or something like that.
Nah.
No, it was epic.
Yeah. That was just one of those things. And then when they called in Luther to help locate Rebecca Ferguson, they gave me a piece of paper and it was like, can you locate her with this?
Oh,
he was like, for mere mortals, no. For me, I could have done it at home. I'm like, hey, God.
Oh my God.
Who are you? And it was, before he could say Jack, he was like, found her. I'm like, oh my God.
No, Luthor, they just bring Luthor and like, say the baddest shit. I'm faster than the satellites. That's it. I even have that quote right there. I have a laughing emoji right after.
Same thing.
Same to you.
Same
It was
thing.
crazy. The scene where Ethan was about to dive into the that whole situation was impossible as per usual. I wonder how the writers come up with this impossible situation. But the scene where he was about to dive into the watering hole to get into the place where he had to change the profile, it looked like the devil's anus. If you told me the devil's anus looks like that, I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, you know, they're just giving it a name. Like, this place is called the Devil's
Devil's
Anus.
anus.
You have to dive into the Devil's Anus.
Honestly, and he just dived in. Oh, that scene was so beautiful. Rebecca Ferguson saving him after everything, but then betraying him like right after.
Bro,
such a contradiction.
You know, from the beginning, I had this thing at the back of my mind. Benji would make a copy of this thing.
Yeah,
I knew he was going to make a copy, but then I was asking myself, why were they still chasing at this?
Why? Like,
why were they still chasing?
Why did
at
he
this?
just mention it to?
I think they didn't want her to have it. Obviously,
yeah, but he could have stopped.
He still would have. He still would have chased. I think he still would have chased her and everything.
Dude is insane. He just died, and this is the second movie where he dies for 1 minute and comes back. He died in part 3 that way when his wife executed him, and he did it again. Does this man not learn? Does he not learn? But and to go from that straight to a bike chasing scene, that's. How many times was Ethan seen the lights? Not to now see it at the end of the day.
Oh my
It's
God! There's so
crazy,
many
man.
dogs at the moment barking.
Yeah, forgive the dogs. Honestly, I don't know what's
Came from it.
going on out there. But yeah, another line that killed me was he's going to take the prime minister. Oh God, just casually, he's going to take the prime minister. It's like saying he's going to take POTUS, the president of the United States. What's going on?
So it's so crazy, and it was so easy. Like, and that scene, just to digress a little bit. That scene when we're going to get to the Devil's Anus, and they used there was this tech they used to like shatter the glass. I was like, they turned the glass to dust. I was like, Jesus!
It
What is
vibrated
this?
for. I think it sent out the resonance.
Yeah, and it just
blew it up. It turned into sand.
I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
You know, that was grand. But anyways, yeah, they were able to just like get to him, and I knew from the beginning that was the plan.
Easy. Yeah.
I was like, that is the plan.
Well, don't you think it's too far fetched? I know the mask like sells shit and then the voice modulator, but the acting, Tom really, really acted the part. He was just going with the flow.
Then the height. Sometimes I'm like, the height's difference.
The height difference as well.
But
Nobody notices
sometimes
it.
nobody really notices that thing. Like,
Oh, I would notice, man.
if you're shorter, you.
Yeah, exactly.
Your face.
If somebody came to me with your face and he's like 5'7", I'm like, nah, dude, what happened? Did someone chop off your legs or something?
That's different. But anyways, I think in intense situations, sometimes you might not even notice that kind of thing. I'm just saying, just little misdirection and all. But it's like he knew that was the first thing Alec was gonna do. Obviously, chief of security straight up go to him and tell him, this is what's going on, and then
So predictable, the CIA.
it is just it is the first thing that would happen, and that's what he did. And he went straight to him and just took him straight to the PM.
Yeah.
And then they had this truth serum thing that they gave everybody.
Yeah, I actually thought it was a trank dart at first, but then
But it
the
wasn't.
lasso of truth sheets, just talking, like that's true. You tried to kill me, yeah, it's true. Oh,
Just
man.
cover their tracks, and they will be the only ones to know what happened. I'm like, God damn it.
But the CIA is so predictable. Ethan was very sure. Him and Rena actually, they were very sure that they would warn the UK, which shows you that the IMF is such an independent, autonomous monolith. They don't have any obligations to anyone. If it was them, they wouldn't tell anybody anything. But the CIA is obligated to warn their.
Yeah, that's the first thing you need to do. And just going back a little bit to the Devil's Anus, when he went when he went in and then when he was like about to switch the cards that held the profile, in my opinion, he had already dodged the thing that was spinning the first time, the arm that was spinning the first time, and he totally forgot about it, and it hit him, and it set him back minutes and it made it really, really difficult. Do you know that he played with Benji's life at that moment? Because he did not know which one was the right one, and he just put anyone in there, and it was just like, you know what, God, take the wheel. And then he was so lucky, because in my opinion, obviously, just for the fact that it was a movie, and you know, it just had to work that way. He didn't know what he was doing, and then she came to save him. I was just like, man, this guy is just playing with this guy's life, but it is what it is, though.
He does anything for his friends, just like I think Rena said that, right? We do anything to get our friends out. Yeah, it was pretty epic.
I knew Rena was not gonna, like, he had agreed to do what they do. I knew he was not like gonna just tell Alec that this is what's gonna happen, and they would just pick them and take them out. Like, this is all part of the plan, which made sense and all. And then Alec Baldwin was talking to the PM. Was it the PM was talking to? It was talking to the PM was like, he had said so many things propping up Ethan's, like who Ethan is as a person. Yeah. And he was like, Hunt is the living manifestation of destiny, and he has made you his mission. Oh my God.
I was like, what's going on? If I was Ethan Hunt, I'll start laughing at that. Like, that's so crazy.
He was there.
He was like right there in the room when he was saying all this shit.
Yeah, man.
What's the truth?
I don't know. I just are you seeing Secret Invasion? Yeah. I was just watching on Instagram the other day. I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw what's his name? Samuel L. Jackson talking and propping up his co-star, the guy that's a Skrull in the movie. Yeah. I was just like, oh, I'm acting with this great guy, blah blah blah, and everything. And then you have Samuel L. Jackson, the actual Samuel L. Jackson, coming in. I was like, what the fuck are you doing, man? And he goes back to his actual, I was just like,
back to the Skrull.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's exactly what was going on.
I didn't see that. No, I didn't see that.
It was so funny. I was like, oh my God, these guys are crazy. No. But anyways, yeah, that was just, it's a side note. But yeah, that scene was just mad. I was like, oh, this is interesting. Like, everything he said there, yeah, was wild. Then the part where it was like, he is destiny and he has made you. That's what is living manifestation of destiny. And he has made you his mission. Oh my God.
Nah.
I think that scared him a bit.
He must have been scared. It's like, who is this dude for you to speak?
Even the CIA is scared of him, and then everything they did there was grand. And then he did the whole payback thing to Lane. Same thing he did to him.
It was so fine. It was so beautifully done. Before that scene happened, I was like, what's going to go on? What's going to go on? And then he just slid in. I was like, he's in the glass box and he can't see it. He doesn't know what's going on. But it's such a reverse Uno card. Take it. Epic stuff, man.
I was like, Lane, this is IMF. It's the IMF. And which is pretty much what it is. I think she would then join the IMF after that, because I don't think she want to go back to MI.
Was she in 6?
I think she was in 6. I don't think she's in 7 as well.
Yeah, she's in 7. I saw her.
I haven't seen 6 yet, but yeah, that'll be the next one, 6 and 7.
Henry Cavill, the bathroom fight scene. Then we're going to be covering that.
I can remember that. So I know I did say a while back, but yeah, that was good to watch. And then what else?
What else about the movie? I think I've mentioned like everything I loved about it. Just the whole idea of the syndicate is very impressive, you know.
It is.
An anti-IMF rogue agency with the purpose of destroying the system that created them, with the spies that the system created. It's freaking amazing in my opinion.
Loved it.
It's like you have an equivalent of the IMF, but there is no IMF to take them on. So it's such an impossible situation as per usual. Yeah. So yeah, I freaking love the movie. I feel everyone should see it. It's way better than part 4, in my opinion. So yeah.
Like so far, which you think has been the best?
5 has to be the best. I mean, part 4 we had nuclear weapons and stuff. I thought they were going to repeat it in 5, but nah.
I just remember in part 4 when he was running through the whole sand.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy.
Oh yeah. By the way, it was part 4 with the sand stuff, right? So, what is your favorite Tom Cruise run so far?
Oh, there was, that part 4 when he was running. That was what you used for that video.
Yeah, where it was running in the sandstorm.
That was epic.
Is it way better than the one in part 3?
When it was running, when the water was
it
that one?
No, that's part 1. In part 3, where he was running to go save his wife, and I think he was running through an Asian country. I think he was running through. He was running and he was moving, and the camera was tracking him. He was jumping off buildings and stuff. I feel that's like the best Tom Cruise run in the Mission Impossible series.
I think it gets better every time.
I think that's the best one. I don't know about Fallout. He hurts his leg right when he's running through on the roof of that building, but
and that was
particular real. One. Yeah, that
actually
real.
happened.
He hurts his leg, right? But that scene in part 3, we'll probably compile it and see which one is the best.
Yeah, we'll
one.
just compile each of those runs.
Oh, it was amazing, that part 3 run. Because there was so much tension, so much behind him having to get to that location as fast as he could. I saw somebody analyzing it, and they were like, he was moving close to more than the average person, but just a little bit close to an Olympic runner. Yeah, so that's my favorite run for me. Yeah,
he's just good with that shit. He keeps doing it, and it always looks epic every time. And then, at the end of this part, Alec Baldwin becomes the secretary now that they have to answer to.
It's such a win-win situation. It's like take all the credits and become secretary.
Yes, they don't really care about that. They just want to just get to do this thing and
scratch.
But I think he would have more trust in them now based on what they've done, and he'll be able to understand the system, like the IMF as a whole. You get, and I think he always has plausible deniability because he can just disavow them and all of that. But now he can give them, and he knows that he may give them orders, and then they will still do what they want to do. Or rather, Ethan Hunt to still do what he wants to do.
That's the whole point of autonomy. It's like, this is your mission. Complete it however you want to.
And he's like, he's his best agent. That's just what it is. He wasn't even scared of him in the CIA.
But who's running the IMF?
No, but they just, I think he's the one running it. Like from after part 4, he started running in part 5.
Yeah. I remember how part 4 started now. I mean, part 5 started.
Yeah, he was the one that was, calling the shots at that
on
moment.
The plane where it was hanging off.
Yeah, I remember now. Yeah. And he was calling the shots from the base and everything. And
he's running everything now.
Show.
Yeah. Rena is such a good addition to the Mission Impossible movies because he was in the Bourne series. He was in Bourne Identity or something like that.
Yeah, and obviously he's,
Hawkeye. Yeah. So that's it for me so far from the movie.
Same magic. Yeah.
All right. Yep.